Hello everyone and welcome to this special Rungta IAS Academy Explainer. Today we're decoding a truly monumental development in India's defense sector, something that's absolutely vital for your General Studies Paper 3 prep.
Exactly, sir. We are taking a deep dive into the recent Defense Acquisition Council approvals. We're going to break this all down systematically so you can extract maximum value for your mains and the personality test. Let's get right into it.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. Number 1. The 52,000 crore DAC approval. Number 2. Enhancing Army operational capabilities. 3. Naval and Air Force upgrades. 4. Strategic significance for GS3. And 5. Mains and interview takeaways. Keep this logical flow in your head, aspirants, because this is exactly how you'd structure a solid 15-marker mains answer.
All right, Section 1. The 52,000 crore DAC approval.
So, the Defense Acquisition Council, which is chaired by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, recently met to make some major strategic decisions, and they approved a whopping 52,000 crore rupees.
Yeah, and that massive financial figure really highlights the strategic weight here. It shows us that indigenization and modernization of our armed forces are happening on a massive, highly prioritized scale.
Now notice the precise administrative jargon used here. The DAC accorded what's called an Acceptance of Necessity, or AON. Pay close attention to this, guys. UPSC prelims and interview boards love testing this exact terminology. An AON is literally the very first formal step that clears the path for any defense acquisition proposal.
Moving to Section 2, Enhancing Army Operational Capabilities. So, the biggest chunk of these approvals is entirely focused on sharpening the Army's tactical edge. For example, Akash Tarang, this is an advanced anti-UAV electronic warfare system, fundamentally designed for protection against hostile drones.
Spot on. We're also seeing the MPATGM, which is the Man-Portable Anti-Tank Guided Missile, really strengthening our infantry against enemy armored formations. Plus, there's the MRSAM for medium-range air defense, and those highly lethal jet-based Kamikaze drones. Dropping these specific names will definitely elevate your answers.
Let's look at Section 3. Naval and Air Force upgrades.
You'll notice the DAC took a very holistic, multi-branch approach here. For the Navy, they approved Multi-Influence Ground Mines, or MIGM, and Naval Shipborne Unmanned Aerial Systems, the NSUAS. They're also setting up a land-based testing facility for electric propulsion. Right, and for the Air Force, we have Fixed-Wing High Altitude Pseudo Satellites, the FW-HAPS. Aspirants, if you can confidently drop acronyms like NSUAS and FW-HAPS in your paper, it's going to seriously impress the examiner.
Which brings us to Section 4. Strategic significance for GS3.
Now for the critical analytical overlay. Looking right at our source report from the Hindu, we really need to ask, how do these raw facts link directly to your GS Paper 3 syllabus under internal security and technology?
Exactly. Whenever you're reading standard newspaper reports like this, you have to synthesize how they fit into broader themes, like border security challenges or the rapid push for technology indigenization.
So the overarching takeaway here is a clear strategic pivot by the Indian Armed Forces towards electronic warfare and unmanned aerial systems. Traditional warfare is just evolving so rapidly. Systems like the Kamikaze Drones and Akash Tarang show this massive shift towards cost-effective, highly lethal deterrence. This is exactly the kind of analytical point you need in your mains essay to stand out from the crowd. Finally, Section 5, Mains and Interview Takeaways. Let's apply this practically for the ultimate stage of the UPSC exam. Imagine you're sitting before the interview board, and the distinguished panel asks, how does systems like Akash Tarang and Kamikaze drones change the paradigm of modern warfare for the Indian Armed Forces?
Well, a top-tier response would immediately highlight the DAC's proactive focus on asymmetric threats. You'd explain that Akash Tarang neutralizes the modern menace of hostile drones, while Kamikaze drones offer precision strikes without risking our pilots' lives, which completely shifts our tactical advantage.
To wrap up, dear aspirants, your key to cracking this exam is precision. Make sure you integrate technical terms like AON, FW-HAPS, and Akash Tarang into your GS3 answers. It shows true analytical depth. Keep revising this structural breakdown. But before we sign off from today's explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to ponder. While we're modernizing with Kamikaze drones and advanced electronic warfare systems, is India's indigenous defense manufacturing ecosystem actually moving fast enough to fully substitute our reliance on foreign imports in a two-front war scenario? Something to think about. Keep studying and best of luck with your preparation.